So I'm here with the co-founder of the JTU project. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, of course. I'm Kirsty, and firstly, I'd like to start off by saying thank you to everyone that's already supported, and shared our page. We really appreciate it. I'm 23, so obviously this is the age group that we're targeting. It's going to be 16 to 25-year-olds.
Okay, so Kirsty, tell us a little bit about why you wanted to set this up, because you came to me a good few months ago now and you were desperate to do something.
So I wanted to set this group up because my best friend on New Year's Eve, he took his own life, and obviously at that time he felt like he didn't have many options that he could go to talk to about his problems, and that left me in the same predicament as he was my safe space. So I just want to reach out to anyone that's lost a family member or is going through anything similar. I want to let people know that there is people to talk to, and we're here to listen.
Okay, so Kirsty, you obviously mentioned the catalyst to you feeling so down. Um, would it be fair to say it's not the first time in your life that you felt low?
Probably no, it's not the first time I've felt low, but it's definitely the first time I've ever hit rock bottom like that.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about Liam and
So obviously Liam was one of those people that you could never tell really what was going on in his head, and even if you had a little bit of an inkling that he wasn't okay, he'd just put a smile on and he'd just brush it off like it was nothing, which made everyone think that he didn't really have anything going on, but really he did. Every little thing that was happening was affecting him massively, and it's only now that I sit back and I think, God, why didn't I just kind of stay in, or why didn't I take him out? It wasn't that I didn't do those things, he just got to the point where he didn't want to do those things anymore. And mental health, it's not just one day you get it, and it kind of graduates over time, so it gets worse.
So did you notice those things? Did you notice him being sad?
Yeah.
Would you describe it as him being depressed?
Yeah, obviously there was times that I'd come in and it'd just be in pitch black, and I'd ask him if he wanted to go to the gym or wanted to go out, and at the time he'd say yeah, and then just change his mind completely, and I didn't realise what was going on until he's gone now, and then I've started feeling like that. So now it's like they're the warning signs to look out for in people that are suffering from mental health. Liam was a person that would never talk about his feelings, and like I said, would just brush it off, but deep down I kind of knew there was something going on. He wasn't able to talk about it, and he didn't want to either.
Do you feel like that in particular, making plans and then not feeling like you can stick to them? And because that's something I feel like I've heard before.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment you kind of get caught up in it, and then when it comes to actually doing something, you just can't be bothered. You don't want to be around people, and that's what I've struggled the most with. You feel so lonely, but it's also too much to be around people because you don't feel like you fully can let go of all your emotions, and that's all you want to do in that moment in time.
Yeah, I think that makes perfect sense. I feel a little bit guarded still.
Yeah.
Can't really show how you're feeling or what you're feeling. You mentioned before about feeling like you're a burden to people, that they don't really want to listen. And
yeah, and I feel like obviously Liam had a lot of friends and family, and our friendship group was quite big. He was the glue of all our friendships, so kind of when he died, it all broke away, and that's another thing that can happen because you move at different paces, and sometimes it holds people back and they're trying to get through, and it's hard to be there for someone when you're kind of going through that. But if you're in that mindset and you want to help people like I do, I want to listen to those problems, I want to be there.
I think that's really important, and that's why obviously you're doing what we're doing. that night, if it's not too difficult, because again, I think it's important that people talk about these things. What do you remember about that night?
I wasn't actually out with him that night. I just knew something wasn't right in the morning. I was gonna go home that night, and by God, I'm so glad I didn't, because I don't ever think I could come back from actually seeing what he'd done. And I kind of thank God every day that I didn't get to see that, but some of my friends did, and I don't know how they live with that. I don't know how they get through that. And even though I didn't see him, it's traumatized me. From I was on the phone to my friends that day, and I obviously said go round the back garden because he wasn't answering the door, and as soon as they stepped in, it was just screaming, and I can't ever get that out of my head. When I go to sleep at night, it's like I can fully see, and even though I didn't see him, it goes to the point where my mind takes me there, and I do see him and what he's done, and that's mental health. It's really, you know, I don't even know how to put it into words, because it's so mind-boggling at times. Like, you don't know how you're feeling, you don't want to do anything, you don't want to even maintain relationships. And even after, like, Liam, I didn't see a way out. I didn't see the light that I used to always be able to get up and kind of see, but with Liam it was completely different.
One of the things I want to talk to you about, because we've spoken about this, that there's a really frightening stat for me that suicide is currently the main cause of death for under 25s, higher than cancer and higher than heart disease, higher even than road traffic incidents, and that's frightening and shocking. And why do you think that is in that age category?
I think social media has a massive part to play in it. In this day and age, you've got the media kind of painting a perfect picture of what you're supposed to look like, what you're supposed to have, and what you like. Even at a certain age, you have to do certain things by that point, and you don't. It's your life. You live the way you want to live. You have fun however you want to have fun. There is no expectations. It's just what you make it.
But that is definitely a pressure people feel, isn't it?
Definitely.
We should, by this age, have had a degree. We should have be driving, have a house, be in a settled relationship. All of these things that someone somewhere has made up should happen by a certain age.
Yeah. And people do feel pressured by that, because speaking from my own experience, I'm 23 now, and I have a car, but to not think that I have a home, it kind of stresses me out, because I'm like, oh well, you know, I'm 25 in 2 years and I haven't really got that stability, but it comes in time. Everything doesn't, you don't get a manual of life.
And that's why I love what we're doing here, and I love the fact that you came with this idea, because it's important that we get that message out and that we show people that they don't need to live up to those expectations, and there are places where they can come and talk. And to people like you who've been through it, who know what they're feeling, we always say, don't we, everyone's situation's different, but you'll be able to relate.
Yeah, definitely. And I do every day, and when I go to work, and the children that I work with, like, they all tell me that I'm the favourite, and I can't boast about that because I'm really happy, and I feel rewarded every time I come out of work, and I feel that's what keeps me going sometimes, because I feel like they need me.
So moving on to what we're going to do about this, because like you said, we have to, don't we?
Yeah,
we have to do something.
There's got to be another way, because obviously there's not much support out there at the minute, and as anyone can see, if you've got mental health issues and you're really struggling, if you go to the doctors, they're not very much help at all. And the state that I went in, and to even think that they didn't even refer me to counselling, is quite worrying, and that's what I want to stop. I want people to be able to come to this group and feel comfortable and feel free almost, because they're out in the open. And I know it's a bit mad to say, but when I'm near water, I feel like all my stresses are just gone. I can't think of anything else. When you've got a nice view to look at, you don't really think of anything else. You can breathe.
Okay, so Kirsty, the good stuff. So do you want to tell everyone about what we've got planned?
Yeah, so I'm so excited to announce that on the 24th of September, we've got a hike in Llanberis. Absolutely anyone's welcome, whether you're just suffering from mental health or losing a loved one. We want to raise awareness, so please come along. The link will be below, and book it in, and we'll see you there.